You want to win? Then stop waiting for someone to hand you permission. You're out here looking for sympathy, applause, validation, but let me break it to you gently. Nobody cares. Sure, here are 6 keynotes from the speech. Asterisk, asterisk, nobody cares about your excuses, only your results. Asterisk, 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 pain is universal, progress is optional. Asterisk, 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 success responds to action, not emotion. Asterisk, asterisk. Asterisk, asterisk, your growth is your responsibility. Asterisk, 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 cut distractions, commit to your mission. Asterisk, 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 focus on becoming, not explaining. Asterisk, asterisk, nobody cares about your excuses, only your results. That's the hard truth most people aren't willing to accept. But the moment you do, everything in your life begins to shift. Because as long as you believe your excuses have value, you will always have a reason to stay stuck. And let's be honest, excuses are easy. They sound smart, they feel justified, and they let you off the hook. But they don't move the needle, they don't build businesses, they don't transform your body, your mind, or your bank account. Only results do that. Excuses are comfortable. They keep you in the same spot, surrounded by people who are also comfortable blaming their circumstances instead of changing them. But here's the reality. The world isn't measuring your intentions. It's measuring your outcomes. You don't get paid for effort, you get paid for execution. You don't build credibility by explaining why something didn't work, you build it by making it work, no matter what. And if you want to play at a higher level, if you want the kind of life most people only dream about, then you have to kill the habit of making excuses. That means no more blaming your past, your parents, the economy, the government, or whoever else is convenient. You weren't born to be average, but if you keep leaning on excuses, that's exactly what you'll become, just another person with potential who never did anything with it. Excuses keep you broke, tired, and invisible. They keep your name unknown and your gifts unused. Every time you make an excuse, you're writing a check your future can't cash. You're wasting the one currency you can never get back, time. You can recover money. You can repair relationships. But you can't reverse wasted years spent defending limitations that never served you. Results, on the other hand, speak for themselves. When you produce, people listen. When you win, they respect you. The world doesn't argue with proof. Results shut down doubt, silence critics, and open doors. And the best part, results don't care where you started. They only care about what you're doing now. That means your background doesn't disqualify you. Your lack of support doesn't disqualify you. Your failures, your setbacks, your insecurities, none of those disqualify you. The only thing that does is refusing to get back up, refusing to grow, and choosing to defend a small story instead of building a strong one. If you want to win, you've got to retrain your mind. Most people are programmed to seek comfort, validation, and sympathy. That mindset doesn't produce anything. You've got to switch into a builder's mindset, one that's addicted to growth, obsessed with progress, and focused on outcomes. Builders don't waste time justifying inaction. They take full ownership, even when it hurts, even when it's unfair, even when nobody else is watching, because they understand that nobody is coming to fix it for them. It's on them to figure it out, to get better, to show up every day with intention and discipline. Ownership is the beginning of change, and it's not about guilt, it's about power. When you stop making excuses, you start reclaiming your power. You stop giving control to outside forces and start realizing that the results you want are always on the other side of responsibility. You can't control everything, but you can control how you show up. You can control your habits, your focus, your attitude, your hunger, and that's more than enough to create the results you want. No one is denying that life is hard. Life hits everyone, some people harder than others. But the difference between the people who rise and the ones who stay stuck isn't who had it worse, it's who made a decision. A decision to stop explaining failure and start engineering success. A decision to stop pointing fingers and start building systems. A decision to stop reacting and start executing. Because when it's all said and done, nobody's going to ask how hard it was for you. They're going to ask if you made it work. They're going to ask if you finished the race. They're going to ask what you built with what you had. And excuses won't be part of the answer. Only results. Pain is universal. Progress is optional. Every human being on this planet goes through pain. That's a fact. Physical pain, emotional pain, financial pain, relational pain, no one escapes it. Life has a way of punching every one of us in the face. Some of us get hit early, some later, but eventually everyone gets their turn. So the question isn't asterisk. If asterisk, you'll experience pain. The question is what you'll do asterisk when asterisk it comes. Because pain is guaranteed, but progress is not. Progress is a decision. It's a mindset. It's a disciplined response in the face of difficulty. There's this myth people cling to that successful people have it easier, that they didn't suffer like you did, that they had help, support, perfect timing. That's the lie weak people tell themselves to justify quitting. The truth is, successful people didn't escape pain, they mastered it. They turned it into fuel. They decided that pain wasn't going to be a prison, it was going to be a platform. They chose growth when it would have been easier to give up. That's the difference, not talent, not luck. Asterisk choice. Asterisk pain can build you or break you. It can wake you up or put you back to sleep. And what determines the outcome isn't the pain itself, it's your interpretation of it. Weak people see pain as punishment. Strong people see it as preparation. Weak people retreat when it hurts. Strong people lean in and learn. And that mindset shift from pain as a curse to pain as a classroom is what separates the average from the elite. Because life will never stop being hard, but you can stop being fragile. Progress is earned. It's paid for with discomfort, frustration, effort, and endurance. You don't grow by staying comfortable. You grow by facing what scares you, doing what stretches you, and enduring what would break most people. Every next level of your life requires a greater version of you, and that version doesn't show up without pain. It doesn't show up in your comfort zone. It shows up when you're willing to be stretched, challenged, and pushed beyond what you thought you could handle. But here's the catch: pain doesn't automatically make you better. Just going through it isn't enough. People love to say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's not true unless you choose to get stronger. Pain can also make you bitter. It can make you resentful, angry, small, and cynical. Pain can twist you into a victim if you let it, but progress demands that you choose to rise, that you extract wisdom from the struggle, not excuses, that you let pain humble you, not harden you. You will not find a successful person who hasn't been broken at some point. But you will find that they refused to stay broken. They rebuilt, they reinvested, they refocused, and while everyone else used pain as a reason to stop, they used it as the reason to start. Because pain is a sign that something needs to change. It's the body's way, the heart's way, the mind's way of telling you, get up, grow, do something different. When people say, you don't understand what I've been through, they're right, nobody else fully does. But understand this, your pain does not make you special. What you do with it does. Your story might be different, but the principles don't change. If you want progress, you have to choose it daily. Relentlessly, you have to train your mind to see pain as part of the process, not proof that you should quit. You have to get to a place where discomfort becomes normal and where struggle is not the enemy, but the evidence that you are evolving. Most people don't fail because of pain, they fail because they avoid it. They think success should feel good all the time, that it should be smooth, easy, exciting. But real success is forged in the dark. It's born in the repetition, the rejection, the doubt, the delay. It's born when you keep showing up long after the motivation is gone. Pain is part of the price, and if you're not willing to pay it, you're not ready for the reward. Success responds to action, not emotion. You can cry about your dreams all day, but until you move, nothing's going to change. You can feel frustrated, overwhelmed, stuck, but those feelings don't produce results. They might be real, but they're not productive. Emotion without execution is just drama. And in the real world, drama doesn't move the scoreboard. Action does. We've been conditioned to believe that feelings are signals to stop. That if something feels hard or uncomfortable, we're doing it wrong. But the opposite is true, that discomfort is often the clearest sign that you're on the edge of growth. Success doesn't wait for you to feel good. It shows up when you act with discipline, especially when you don't. You don't need to feel like doing it. You just need to do it. That's where the separation begins. Talk is cheap. Emotion is cheaper. It costs nothing to post about your goals, complain about your setbacks, or daydream about the life you want. But action, that costs time, that costs energy, that costs consistency. And that's why most people never succeed, not because they're not emotional enough, but because they don't take consistent, purposeful action when it counts. There's a massive difference between being busy and being effective. You can spend all day processing your emotions and not move an inch closer to the life you say you want. Or you can wake up and execute the basics even while you're tired, even while you're doubting, even when it's not fun. And when you stack enough days of action, the emotions start to change too. You don't wait for confidence to take action, you build confidence through action. High performers don't avoid emotion, they just don't let it lead. They don't make decisions based on how they feel in the moment. They make decisions based on who they've committed to becoming. Because if you only show up on the days you feel like it you'll never reach the life you're capable of. Successful people train their minds to do what's necessary regardless of what they feel. Emotion is useful when it fuels your action, but when it becomes an excuse to delay, to overthink, to wait, it's a liability. There are people sitting on billion-dollar ideas, game-changing gifts, next-level potential, and they're doing nothing with it because they're too emotional, too caught up in fear, too worried about judgment, too hung up on perfection. All of that emotional noise is drowning out the one thing that would actually change their lives, movement. You're not going to feel ready. You're not going to feel inspired every day. You're not going to be in the mood all the time. But if you can teach yourself to act to make the call, send the email, write the page, hit the gym, record the video even when you don't feel like it, then you'll have an advantage over 99% of the population. Because while they're hesitating, you're executing. While they're waiting for clarity, you're gaining it by moving. Progress loves speed. Success loves decisiveness. But you can't move fast if you're trapped in your feelings. You have to train your focus to override your emotion. Ask yourself, what needs to get done right now? Then do it, without negotiation, without delay, without waiting for the mood to strike. That's how momentum is built. Not with a perfect mindset, but with persistent motion. Too many people let emotion write the script of their lives. They get caught in a cycle, motivation, hesitation, procrastination, then regret. And they repeat that cycle for years. But the ones who break out, they're the ones who stop worshiping how they feel and start honoring what they've committed to. They stop chasing motivation and start building habits. Because feelings come and go, but action builds identity, and identity drives everything. Your growth is your responsibility, not your parents, not your partners, not your bosses, not your friends, yours. The moment you place your development in someone else's hands, you've already lost. Because no one is going to care about your potential the way you should. No one is going to fight for your progress the way you must. And if you're waiting for someone to come push you, lead you, guide you, or rescue you, then you'll be waiting forever. Growth isn't something that happens accidentally. It happens intentionally, and it starts the day you decide to own it. There's a dangerous mindset that traps a lot of people, the idea that someone owes them growth. That because they were hurt, because they were overlooked, because they didn't get the right start, someone else should step in and fix it. But life doesn't work that way. Fairness isn't promised. Opportunity isn't handed out equally. And while that might not be your fault, your progress is still your job. You can either make excuses or you can make changes, but you can't do both. Personal growth is not a passive experience. It requires active choices, reading when you'd rather scroll, learning when you'd rather sleep, practicing when you'd rather party. It's built in the early mornings, the late nights, the uncomfortable moments where quitting would be easier, but you keep going anyway. Growth demands sacrifice. It costs energy, time, money, attention. But what you gain in return is priceless. Confidence, clarity, capability, and control over your life. There's no shortcut to becoming who you're supposed to be. You don't stumble into greatness. You build it one disciplined choice at a time. You work through your weaknesses instead of avoiding them. You study the people who are ahead of you instead of resenting them. You embrace the process instead of wishing for instant results. Because growth is a grind before it's a gift. And if you're not willing to show up for that grind, then you're not serious about changing. You don't need permission to evolve. You don't need someone to give you a plan, a promotion, or a pep talk. You've already got what you need: a mind, a will, a vision. The only question is whether you'll use them. Will you stop blaming your background and start building your future? Will you stop looking sideways at what other people have and start looking inward at what you haven't developed yet? That's the kind of personal accountability that unlocks power. When you stop waiting and start working, when you stop talking and start transforming, every area of your life that isn't growing is an area you've abandoned. If your finances are stuck, that's not the government's fault. If your mindset is weak, that's not your teacher's fault. If your health is a mess, that's not your genetics' fault. Take your power back, own the responsibility, because once you do, nothing is off limits. Growth becomes a matter of time and effort, not chance and luck. You can't outsource your evolution. You can't delegate your destiny. You've got to get in the driver's seat. If you want to be better, learn more. If you want to lead, study leadership. If you want to earn more, build more value. Growth is available to you every single day in books, in experience, in conversations, in mistakes. But only if you're willing to step up and seek it out. No one's going to force you. No one's going to chase you. That's why most people stay stuck, because responsibility is heavy. It's much easier to point fingers than look in the mirror. It's much easier to blame than to build. But if you want power, if you want peace, if you want progress, you have to take radical ownership. You have to become obsessed with your own development, not for applause, not for validation, but because you refuse to waste the potential you've been given. Cut distractions, commit to your mission. We live in a world designed to pull your focus in 1,000 directions every second. Notifications, opinions, drama, gossip, news, entertainment, all of it engineered to hijack your attention and steal your time. And every moment you give to that noise is a moment you're not building, a moment you're not creating, a moment you're not moving closer to the life you say you want. You can't grow if you're constantly reacting. You can't win if your mind is always somewhere else. Focus isn't optional anymore, it's a survival skill. The difference between people who get results and people who don't almost always comes down to how they manage distraction. The high performers, they protect their energy like it's gold. They say no to anything that doesn't align with their vision. They eliminate the junk, the pointless arguments, the meaningless scrolling, and the people who bring nothing but chaos. Why? Because they know that distractions are disguised delays. Every time you break your focus, you're resetting your momentum. And when you do that over and over again, you stay stuck not because you aren't capable, but because you're undisciplined. Your mission, your goals, your purpose, your potential requires your full attention. Not your leftovers, not your weekend energy, full commitment. That means setting boundaries, building systems, and designing your environment to support your priorities. You can't just try harder. You have to be smarter about how you use your time and guard your focus. You have to remove the things that keep pulling you off track and create space for deep, uninterrupted work. Whether that's shutting off your phone, changing your circle, or saying no to things that don't serve you, it has to happen. Too many people are distracted by people who don't even matter. They waste hours defending themselves to critics, comparing themselves to strangers, and engaging in debates that produce nothing. And then they wonder why their goals feel so far away. Your mission doesn't need your emotional reactions, it needs your execution. You don't have time to be everywhere and do everything. You have time to build. You have time to grow. But only if you stop letting nonsense consume the bandwidth you need to succeed. You can't serve two masters. You can't chase greatness and give half your attention to trivial things. Commitment means choosing your future over your feelings. It means showing up when it's boring, when it's hard, when it's lonely. It means being unavailable for distractions not because you're arrogant, but because you're focused. People might not understand it. They might even resent it. But that's fine. Let them. Your job is not to please everyone. Your job is to finish your mission. You weren't born to be mediocre. You weren't given your vision to waste it watching other people live theirs. Every distraction you entertain is a step away from your purpose. Every excuse you make is a delay to your progress. And you don't get those minutes, hours, or days back. That's why you have to be ruthless about your time and relentless about your vision. Your future self is depending on you. Not to dabble, not to drift, but to dial in, to cut the noise, to get serious. Because the people who win, the ones who actually reach the top, aren't the most talented. They're the most focused. They commit to the mission, they lock in, and they refuse to be pulled off course. Discipline beats motivation every time. Motivation is temporary, it's a spark. It's a feeling that comes and goes. Some days you have it, some days you don't. And if you build your habits around motivation, you'll be inconsistent, unreliable, and stuck in the same place year after year. Discipline is different. Discipline is the engine. It's what keeps you going when motivation disappears. It's what separates the talkers from the doers, the dreamers from the executors. Motivation makes you feel good. Discipline makes you better. Everybody gets excited at the beginning. Everybody's hyped on day 1. That's easy. But what happens on day 10, day 50, day 300 when no one's clapping for you, when the novelty's worn off, when life hits you in the mouth? That's where discipline shows up. That's where champions are made, not in the moment of inspiration, but in the moments of repetition, in the mundane, in the boring, in the grind. You'll never master anything if you only work when you feel good. You'll never get in shape if you only train when you're hyped. You'll never build a business if you only show up when it's exciting. Growth demands consistency, and consistency requires discipline. It's the ability to keep showing up, to keep putting in the reps, regardless of your mood, regardless of your circumstances. Discipline says, I don't care how I feel, I do what's required. Most people lose not because they're not capable, but because they're emotional. They negotiate with themselves, I'll skip today, I'll double up tomorrow. I'm tired, I'll get to it later. That mindset kills dreams. Discipline kills excuses. It eliminates the option to quit. It builds resilience, mental toughness, and self-respect. When you do what you said you'd do, even when it's hard, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted. And that changes everything. The truth is, you won't always want to do it. There will be days you're tired, frustrated, discouraged. But those are the days that matter most, because that's when you have the opportunity to grow, not just in skill, but in identity. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you become stronger. You raise your standard. You become the kind of person who finishes. Success isn't about being the most talented or the smartest. It's about being the most committed. Discipline is what builds that commitment. It turns intentions into outcomes. It turns potential into power, and the best part, it's trainable. You don't have to be born with it, you can build it, one decision at a time, one disciplined action at a time, and if you stay with it long enough, you won't need motivation anymore. You'll be dangerous without it. At the end of the day, no one is coming to save you. No one owes you success, growth, healing, or transformation. It's all on you. You can waste time hoping someone will notice your potential, or you can grind in silence and let the results speak. Life doesn't reward the most emotional, the most vocal, or the most wounded. It rewards the most committed. The ones who cut the noise, own their pain, act without excuses, and move with discipline no matter how they feel. The ones who realize that nobody cares, and that's the power. Because once you stop waiting for permission, once you stop seeking validation, you finally get free. And in that freedom, you unlock something lethal: full responsibility. Full control, unshakable focus. That's how you build. That's how you rise. So stop chasing comfort. Stop chasing attention. Lock in. Do the work. Focus on yourself and become undeniable.